Hey there, crew. We're going to do a directed drawing of George Washington, our first president. I heard you've been learning about him a little bit in social studies, and I love connecting social studies to our artwork. So, you're going to need something to draw with on a piece of paper. I'm going to use a Sharpie just because it's easier for you guys to see, but of course, use a pencil. Keep it light till you get it right. That way, if you need to pause or change something, you can always erase. So, we are going to start with the nose. So, we're going to make like the letter C to start, and then we're going to curve and bump and bring it up to where an eyebrow will appear. So, we're going to get a little eyebrow in there, and you have two eyebrows, so I'll get one over here as well. They're like little caterpillars. Then we're going to do an upside down U, or a curve like this. We're going to make two of those for the eyeballs. So eyeballs are actually football or almond shaped. So we're going to make one that goes underneath as well, like that. And you can never forget those eyelids, otherwise we would look like our eyes are wide open, a little crazy all the time. So we're going to make a line that curves from one side to the other like a rainbow going across. Alright, so I'm going to get another little line in there. Boom, boom. Little details you don't have to add, but if you want to, go for it. So, does anybody know what the colored part of the eye is called? The colored part is the iris. And do you know what the dark part is? The dark part is the pupil. So that first circle is our iris, and then we're going to get a pupil in there. And I'm going to fill it in dark, but leave a little white spot for the light in his eye. Like that. Boom. Alright, for the mouth, it's going to be below the nose, of course. And we're going to give him a sly little smile, so just curve up, bump, bump, and the bottom lip, like that. And then we'll get a curved line there. And next we're going to get kind of his cheekbones and chin and the hair, because now we just have a floating face. So we'll get a cheekbone in between like the eye and the mouth. We're going to get a cheekbone right there, and then on the other side too, kind of a curve like a C, and then a backward C, kind of like parentheses. Alright. Then we're going to go down to the chinny chin chin, up to connect the cheekbone. And next we're going to start at our first cheekbone over here. We're going to start making some wavy lines for like the hair, and then it goes in and back around, hits the corner of the eye, and back to the cheekbone. So we kind of got a head going on. So his hair is actually going to cover up where his ears would be. So, believe it or not, he wore a wig for a while. So, I'm just going to curve around, and it kind of comes around like that. And then you can add texture in the hair as well. So, I'm not going to fill it all the way in, but you can use some like wavy lines, even some curly Q spirals in there. That would be some good texture in the hair. Voila. Alright. Also, he was pretty tired after being our president, so I'm going to get some lines in his forehead, like so. And you know what? His hair kind of comes in a little bit. This is why you use a pencil. Alright. So, we're going to get kind of like his neck, handkerchief looking thing. So we're going to create almost like a collar going around, and I'm going to use curved lines because it goes around his neck, and then it kind of flows down in a couple layers. Just kind of some flowing lines. And then we'll get the collar of his jacket as well to his shoulders. Collar of the jacket comes down, jacket, collar, and other shoulder. So that would be like the face of George Washington. If you want to add his body, you could do that. I'm going to show you some other things as well. If you want to include them. So some great ways to look at George Washington is a dollar bill or a quarter. So if you find a dollar bill or a quarter at your place, you could get a look at George Washington as well. A portrait of him, a picture of a person or animal. Then I did a finished one where I had a banner with his name on it. And then in the background, can you tell what I have in the background? Yes, I used symbols and shapes and lines to create our American United States flag. So it's a pattern, red, white, blue with white stars. Also has rhythm, so elements and principles of design. But then my favorite part, because he was our first president, I collaged, cutting and gluing, a foam finger that he's holding up, number one, because he was the first president. So, really quickly, I'll show you how you could draw that. If you wanted to cut out a foam finger for his arm, kind of like I did there, I had his arm coming up, and then instead of his hand, I drew the foam finger, cut it out of green paper, glued it on. And I outlined it with Sharpie as well. So, how you would draw the foam finger, because I ran out of room on my little paper there, I'm going to use the whiteboard. So you're going to start with a base like that. Then on the left side, you're going to curve up to create the thumb, like so. And then your index finger is going to be pointing up, like I'm number one. And then your other fingers are kind of like little ovals because they're curved over at the knuckle. And then you're going to just curve back around again to your base. And then your thumb is going to kind of make a little mark in the palm of your hand and a curve down here. And then if you want, you can get your number sign, the pound sign there, hashtag, and a number one. George Washington was number one, our first president. So again, there's cool videos out there about his life, there's cool books about his life, and then you can always check out a dollar bill or a quarter to see another version of him as well. There's a lot of portraits painted of George Washington at the Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C. too, so if you ever go there, you could probably spot him as well. So, if you decide to do a little George Washington drawing or collage, I would love to see your results. So keep up the good work, you champion artists and champion learners. Adios, amigos.